an amazing job with the stitches.
Peace, everybody out there.
Okay.
Sister Yaa and I was kicking it already. We live.
Yeah.
This is Exodus Radio. I'm one of your hosts, RJ Mahdi. I'm with my sister Yaa, same for Repatriation Assistance Program. And this is our last episode of Exodus Radio for 2020. And today's topic is manifesting the new year. All right, we're going into a new year. Every year, everybody does the new year, new me. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep building on what we've been building on. Right, Sister Yaa?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people have a tradition of saying on the new year what all their new year resolutions are going to be for the year. And probably by the end of the week, they're not doing any of it, you know? And so what we have to do is get out of that and decide, particularly when it relates to those who are trying to get out of the West and come back home to Africa.
Right. Because, you know, it's funny because, you know, time is going to keep passing us by. And if we don't make those kind of improvements, if we don't come together and use these strategies that we've been talking about so much, then, you know, we will continue to see the same challenges present themselves over and over again. And happy Kwanzaa to everybody out there, by the way. Today happens to be the fourth day of Kwanzaa, which is Ujamaa. And you know, that talks about collective economics. So we're going to talk about that a little bit on today's show. Another way that we're going to be, you know, trying to manifest some greatness in the new year.
What we've been preaching it to everybody. Just pool your resources, move as a unit, pool your resources. That is the solution.
That's right. And not just us. I mean, these are the same things that we've heard from all of the greats who have been, you know, trying to lead us for decades, for centuries even. If we talk about any of the, you know, even the living greats right now, the Dr. Boyce Watkins and, you know, the folks who are really working, you know, on the ground right now, they're all saying the same thing. Collective economics. Put your money together. This is how you win in today's economy. This is how you win in today's global society. Collective work and development and actually, you know, being united. That's what it's all about. That's what this whole year has shown us a lot of, in spite of all the challenges we've had this year with COVID and all the other, you know, crazy things going on. One of the things we've seen the most this year is people actually being collective, actually investing in funds together. Things like the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, things like, you know, various programs going on everywhere right now. Everybody's, you know, putting these little micro developments together. And this is exactly what we need to see more of.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So
and for y'all joining, Chief would not be joining us today. We're gonna he's got some other engagements, so it's open mic day. It's me, Brother RJ, and anybody who wants to contribute to the topic today, you are welcome to come in and contribute to what we're discussing today. RJ will post the link there and throughout the show.
That's right. So one of our first guests today, or our first guest on today, is you know, some really influential elders in the community, a brother and sister who are authors. They also have a community activist, you know, background, but. Kwa Hill is the brother. His wife's name is Ebony. And the two of them together actually founded the Kanuni tribe, which focuses on educating the community on the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba. A lot of you guys know the Nguzo Saba is the principles of Kwanzaa and what we you know, have each day represent, and also the importance of African cultural awareness. All right, so Kwa and Ebony are joining us today. We're going to have a conversation with them briefly about manifesting the new year and taking this Kwanzaa spirit on with us as we go. Thanks for joining us. Oh, it looks like you guys may have to get closer in the middle there.
Okay.
Once, let me
Hi.
see if I
There
Oh,
you
yeah. There it is.
there we go. There we go.
go. How you doing?
Brother and sister, how y'all doing there?
We're doing great.
Doing well. Good to meet you. Hello.
Good to have you on.
Greetings. Welcome, Aquaba.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of great things, wonderful things that you all are doing in Northeast Ohio. Is it?
Yes, we're in Akron.
Yes. So I've been meaning to link up with you all for a while. Today is a perfect day to do that. It is Kwanzaa, so we're smack dab in the middle of our own, Black empowerment holiday.
Yes.
And we have you guys here on Exodus Radio. Tell everybody a little bit about what you all do there in Ohio and how that links to Kwanzaa and what we're talking about today.
All right. Well, thank you again. And Habar Ghani, we say at the beginning of each day of Kwanzaa. And we're excited to be here and talk about what we are doing. It's great to be a part of the collective, to even cross over the miles and the oceans and to touch base to the motherland this way. We are excited about coming. We want to come. We're trying to get there as soon as we can. So here, what we're doing with the Kanuni tribe is we're founded on the principles of the Nguzo Saba because we realize that this is where our power is. This is where our greatness is. And a lot of our folks were already doing these things, right? We're already participating in cooperative economics, but maybe we don't know it. So we believe in educating and also implementing these practices by celebrating our great heroes. You mentioned the ones that have led the way for us, that we can learn lessons. They paid a mighty big price for us. And we would be remiss to be here and not carry on that legacy and carry on that torch. So we're committed to being a part of that change we want to see. We also believe that we are bridge builders. We're builders to connect the older generations and the younger generations. But if we're going to do it, it has to start with us, right? So that's pretty much how we started, right, babe?
Yes. We also started with the understanding and the knowledge of we have to be the change that we want to see. And we have to be able to bring good into the world. But we cannot bring good into the world if we're not establishing good. And then I think the best way we can establish good is to start setting the principles of the Nguzo Saba. Instead of living by the pleasures of this American system, this American culture, we can now bring it back to the principles of Africa. And when we do that, then we can set the stage toward cooperative economics. But I think we've been co-opted out of cooperation. So therefore, we cannot trust one another and go to each other's stores if we don't live by principles first. So I believe that the economics is the end result, but we cannot get to the end result if we don't begin with trusting, building character, going back to our ancient African ways of being a collective and not individual people. So here in the Kanuni tribe, we try to build the principles of the good. It is about folks bonding with the good, being the good, building the good, bridging the good, so we can bring good back to our community. And if we can do that, then we can now build our businesses, because now we will be able to trust one another and go to our businesses. Right. So that's how I see that.
Yeah.
That's legit. So I love go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll come in. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, I love how you guys have named yourselves the Kanuni tribe. That's for a long time I've always said that African Americans, we are a tribe of our own. We have interest, we have culture, language, music, and all these different things. So that kind of makes us what was typically a tribe. What made you guys choose the Kanuni tribe for your tribe, and how has that been growing? What's your tribe been developing like?
Okay.
Right. So we decided choose the word Kanuni. The word Kanuni means principle in Kiswahili. So we want to be able to have the language, because we understand if we don't start affiliating with the language of Africa, then we're still within the European context, because we understand that language determines the thought patterns. So we wanted to use a African word, Kanuni, and then that's what we're about. Kanuni again means principle. So we are a tribe that's building and bringing principles to our community, because we know without the principles to stand by, the guiding rule, then we will always be now run over by the oppressive culture. And we believe also in the Kanuni tribe, before we can have cultural awareness, we believe cultural awareness is not a fish swimming in the sea. That's his natural domain. We had to be knowing that cultural awareness is really the fish out of the water. Right. See, now we're out of our natural habitat of collective ability. So now we've got to become aware this is not our natural state. We're not a natural state of being in the competitive waters. We live by the nature of working with one another. So therefore, in that way, we realize the community living by the principles of cooperative economics, the principles of the collective works and responsibility, the principle of emoji, which is first is unity, determined by Kujichagulia, self-determination.
And so, thank you, babe. So what we've been doing is, again, we saw a gap. We saw a gap between the head knowledge and the actual work being done.
Yes.
So with the Kanuni tribe, we've committed ourselves to having monthly events, regular events here in our city, in our town, and now we're virtual this year because we said, hey, if I decide I want to go find something out about my culture right now today, where do I go? And we saw that there was a gap. Mm-hmm. So what we've done is we've highlighted some of our great American heroes, national, worldwide heroes. And we said, you know what, we need to learn from them. So we've highlighted Marcus Garvey. Mm-hmm. We've highlighted Nat Turner. We've highlighted Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. These are names that we know, but we also know that every time we do a program, we learn something more. So it's given our people opportunity to dive in. We have a discussion forum, and we just want to ask questions. We give a brief history about each person, and then we have, how can we keep that spirit alive? What can we glean from these folks? Again, you take any one of those names and you look at the price they paid. I keep saying that because, again, we're paying a price right now today. You guys are doing your work, we're doing our work, but we believe it's important, and it gives people a chance to engage. What I love about Kwanzaa is that time of year that if no other year that you can be Black in America, you can be Black during Kwanzaa. But how many of our folks don't even know what Kwanzaa means? Right. It's a celebration. It's a time to put on your attire. It's a time to show up and be together. But we like to say Kwanzaa is the year end, the end gathering, but it's also a kickoff for the year. So to circle back to the topic, how do we manifest the new year? By actually celebrating and operating in the principles of the Nguzo Saba all year long. Right. So not only do we highlight these great heroes that we have, we attach one of the Nguzo Saba principles to each one of them. Right. Yes. So for like Kujichagulia, we did Harriet Tubman. Right. We like, who has more self-determination than Harriet Tubman? Like, come on now. Like, she went back for 200 times to get people, a woman by herself at that time. Mm-hmm. Come on, somebody. So we try to bring it to life. We can talk about these things in isolation, but let's connect them so that we can pull from that. Right. We need that encouragement. We need that determination. We need to know who we are. So we're saying, hey, time out for what everybody else is doing. This is what the tribe is doing, and we expect to do even more in 2021.
Yes.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to, when you were talking about trusting, I wanted to give an example of here on the continent of Africa, within your community, everybody gets to know you, know who you are, they become familiar with you. And I'm just going to give you a few examples of just people just trusting the neighbors. And so if I go out and I'm on my way home and I want to stop and get some fruits, some vegetable or juice, whatever, and I go in my purse, I stop and I don't have what I need to get it, they will give it to me anyway. They will give it to me and say, that's just next time, bring it. Right. That happens to me all the time.
All
It's
the
not just
time.
me. It happens in the community because they trust that, you know, you're going to come back and you're going to settle that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So these are the things. When I lived here before, I was having some difficulties with PayPal. The PayPal been tripping for a while, trying to get some money off my account with PayPal. And I went up to a sister that had a little shop. I knew her because I always buy with her all day, you know, bread, eggs, stuff like that. I said, look, my money, I got to get this thing cleared. She was, oh, no, take whatever. And I just need a couple things. She was like, no, take whatever you need. Take it. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot go to Walmart or Kroger's and walk in the grocery store and say, I don't have enough. I'll be back, you know, tomorrow. And you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
But this is a common occurrence on the continent of Africa in the community.
Amen.
Right.
So I love that about it. I love that.
That's the real credit, you know, and
What'd
credit
you say? Oh, I
comes
thought
from
somebody said
community. It should come from community. When we give
Yeah.
you give somebody credit, it's always based on trust. America
Yes,
has
come
trust
on now.
that is based on a credit score, and even that credit score typically, you know, says how much a bank can trust you. But it shouldn't come to, you know, a digital selection. You know, this is something that your community should know about you. Like Sister Yaa says, here on the ground, if, you know, times are tough, etc., if you're a part of a community, that community is who comes to help you. And a lot of times, you know, that's just day to day. That can be with anything. I've had, you know, over the years, I've even had taxi drivers, you know, in a car, they say, well, I don't have enough change, you know, this is a thing here. The thing here, they never want to give you change. If you use a big bill, they don't want to break it for you. So if your trip was 1,000 francs and you try to pay with a 10,000 franc bill, you know, typically, I'm not going to give you all that change. I've had taxi drivers literally tell me, you know what, just keep it. I'll see you again. Don't worry. I've seen you around. I know you're around here. You know, don't worry. And that is community. We never experienced that. You know, in America. We should be. We should be experiencing that in all of our communities around the world.
Yeah,
you know?
It is beautiful. And Brother RJ, how long have you been on the continent?
We've been here 6 years.
Wow, 6 years.
Right.
You guys done some amazing things.
2021.
Right. So I begin to wonder, how can we manifest, you know, the next year if we don't understand the man that we're in? The word man is the species that we come from. We're human, but we actually are now trying to manifest our oppressor's man. And there are oppressors, man, that want us to manifest to our full capabilities. So we got to first examine the man that we're trying to manifest. And in this system, he does not want us to manifest fully. So before we can really manifest our capabilities, we got to understand the man that we're trying to manifest. And that takes the cultural awareness to realize in this system, in this culture, unless you're practicing the African principles, you're not going to manifest fully. You're going to, like she said, you're going to be January the 5th, and you realize you ain't done nothing
the same
of New Year resolutions. You got to wait a whole new year again and say, okay, I'm going to change. I'm going to change, without understanding the spirit in which you're trying to change too.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And Sister Ebony, what can you tell us about?
And so what a lot of people don't get is when go ahead. I'll come back to it.
Always has a delay, y'all. Don't mind.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, can you tell us about your writing, your books? You know what we can expect from author Ebony Hill.
Whew. So thank you. What I've done so far, I wrote a book, and my husband helped me with the book. He has some keys at the end of each chapter in the book, but it's called How I Went from 45 and Single to 45 and Married. So I was what I called a seasoned bride, right? Got married at the age of 45. Wow. But the subtitle is The 13 Secrets That Changed My Life. So I had to learn some stuff along the way, right? I was a good girl. I got good grades. I'm beautiful, right? Y'all supposed to say right.
Right.
Absolutely.
I had my stuff together. I had my job, been on my job for multiple years, you know, home, car, all the stuff you're supposed to do. But something was missing. I was dating people, but not finding the right kind of people, anybody I wanted to marry. Okay. And I say that I was determined, but not desperate. Two different things. I knew the importance of being married. But once I got married and God blessed us in such a mighty way, the way we met, our union, we've been married 3.5 years. It seems like we've been together forever, you know. But it's also my heart and my spirit. I said, once I got married, I wouldn't forget about my single sisters. So this book, How I Went from 45 to Single, 45 to Married, is really just helping. It's charting out some of the pitfalls. Yeah, it's hilarious, okay? But also, I had so many people come and say, the only difference is your name versus mine. They've had the same experiences. But when we talk about community, we talk about manifesting, we talk about living and having our beautiful Black community. You can't do that without a him and a her. Come on, somebody. You know, so we believe in Black.
I just wanted to point out that was actually the reason why I asked about, your work as an author, because as we talk about manifesting, one of the main ways to manifest, and it's always worked for me, it's always been taught to me by people, who I looked up to, is to write things down.
Yes.
When you write things down, you manifest them subconsciously. When you put them on that paper, when you take your thoughts and you ink them out, that actually manifests things in a greater way than we think. And in writing books, some people write books just for fun or fiction, etc. But when you write books from the kind of space that you're writing from, you're writing from a space of experience. You're writing from a space of solutions. You're writing from a space of reaching back and giving to somebody who perhaps doesn't have the same awareness that you have. That in and of itself is manifesting. And maybe not just for you, but for somebody else. You writing that down and sharing that experience is a way that you are manifesting for dozens, hundreds, thousands. I don't know how many you've sold, but that's your manifesting. That is the manifest. So that's huge. I'm glad that's the topic of your books and it's spreading some word.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to add that when we say manifesting, we're not talking about some spookism stuff. We're not talking about sitting somewhere and going all that. Right. No, that's no different than religion and waiting on somebody else to come solve your problems. What we're talking about is imagining what you want for yourself and your family for the new year, putting that in mind, claiming it, and then start moving in steps that will lead you to that result. Right. That is manifesting. So the thought is a thought that you have, but you have to take action to bring that thought into make it a reality. A chair. Some chairs used to not exist, but somebody manifested a chair. Somebody thought about it and said, you know what? I need something to sit on. You know what I'm saying? And then it came into mind first, and then they created it. So that's manifestation. Okay. So I want to be clear. A lot of our people are on this spookism and hey, brother, how you doing? But that's not what we're talking about. Okay.
Right. And I
want to say I love that. And I go back to relationships because what you said is perfect. People think just because they want to be married that some man is going to drop out of the sky. A husband doesn't drop out of the sky no more than the stork delivers a baby. Okay. That don't happen. Right. So when you want to be married and you want to be in a healthy relationship, you got to do the work. And that's what I talk about in my book. It's one thing to read my story and be happy about what happened between my husband and I, but it's something else to roll up your sleeves, dry your tears, and jump in and do the work. So again, when you talk about manifesting, it requires some action, right? And we know that our communities are better when we have couples, when we have healthy couples. A lot of people say they don't even know what healthy relationships look like. So again, that's something that we hope to model and help people. We believe in self-development. We have so many people that we counsel, men and women, because folks got questions, right? But we're here to help. We just believe in the whole collective, the ujima of it all, the collective work and responsibility.
Right. And the first page in our pamphlet, it is a queen and a king crowning each other. So we believe in building a community that is building African kings and queens who are culturally aware.
Yes.
So being this culture, we have to be aware that this culture does not build us to be African kings and queens. This is why we need to go back to Africa. Well, hopefully we're setting up to get people to think right so they can belong in Africa. Because a lot of times we don't want to bring black people to Africa still with the Western thought. So they're just a black king in a white mind. So we're aware
that's a Negro king.
Right.
That's a Negro king.
Is so important. And even when we manifest, we must understand that the manifest comes from, like you said, that imagination. But we're made in the image. Yes. See, the real magic is in the image of God.
Yes.
If we're in the image of God, we realize we can do anything with our creative ability, which is our mind. But if our mind is shackled by oppression and thinking less of yourself in a culture that does not fulfill yourself, then you could never manifest your true destiny because the magic is in another man.
Right.
Come on, baby.
Man, powerful words.
Come on with it.
It's true. You right on, brother. You right on.
Sister, thank
Maria,
you so much for
I'm looking at the comments here. Maria.
I'm sorry. I wanted to go ahead and.
I'm sorry. I wanted to address one of the comments. One of the comments, Maria Sway asked the question. She said, but I feel we are still lost because who's to say that we are all African? How are we supposed to know what to study and practice? We don't even know what we are, what tribe and culture to learn. So my answer to that, sister, I've never done a DNA test. I'm not interested in a DNA test.
Come on with it.
I know, you understand, I got people in my family that have done it, but I'm not interested. You know why? Because I claim all of Africa. So I gravitate towards the people that my spirit are attracted to. So right now I'm married to my husband's Fanti. According to all these people in Ghana, that's it. I'm Fanti now. That works for me. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? They say I'm Fanti. When they find out my husband Fanti, you are Fanti. And in fact, now I am Fanti. So it's incumbent upon me to learn a lot about Fanti culture, the foods, everything that my husband likes, stuff like that. And it's the same thing with him. He learns about who I am as an African American and what I like. So when but if you're not going to be married to a continental, then you just gravitate wherever it is, because guess what? You know how many ancestors you have? You have millions and millions of ancestors, and they didn't all come from the same tribe. They came from Angola. They came from Mali. They came from everywhere. You have millions of ancestors. So just pick one. That's what I'm saying. Pick one that says something to your heart and to your soul. That's it.
My wife Aaliyah and I was just actually talking about this literally like this morning, about how we've taken on only a handful of the actual cultures and the spiritualities, the traditional lifestyles of the continent. Only a very small handful. We have those ones that we all know and we hear about a lot, right? Everybody knows about Kemet and Kush. Everybody knows about Ethiopia. We've got tons of Rastafarians. Everybody knows about Ife and that thing, and everybody knows about Zulu and the Swahili, right? But think about the vastness of the continent and how many more kingdoms and spiritualities and lifestyles and traditions and religions and government systems there are on this continent. We got to actually open up our mentalities past everything that we've heard so far. That's something that I think is so necessary in order to engage the continent fully. We still hear people who are, we have folks who are still saying, I'm not coming back to the continent because, there are Christians there, or there are Muslims there, or I'm not coming back to the continent because, and you don't understand.
Those are excuses. That
is an excuse.
That's all that is.
So many practices on this continent. And a lot of them have some very good qualities. A lot of them have great, character building, purposes to them. Many of them have amazing teachings and proverbs, and even their own, if you can say, prophets or those who came and taught and led. you know, we got to open our mind up greater than just the same old, same old. We're not all from Egypt, you know, you know, we're not all, you know, Ife or these, you know.
Can I say, let me just say, I don't want to get into a history lesson, but there is evidence that those Africans that are on the West Coast did migrate from Egypt. So there is probably a good chance that we have some Egyptian, the original Nubian, because they migrated. You gotta understand, people move. African people have always migrated and moved around. So there is some direct evidence that shows the airway.
The cradle of life would be more like East Africa anyway. If you really want to talk about the cradle of Africa, where we all migrated out of, that is Eastern Africa, just south of what is now Ethiopia, Somalia, down into, I guess that's Tanzania, that eastern, you know, area of the continent. That, if we really want to talk science and history, that's where we all migrated out of.
Yeah.
And we traveled around.
Right. Yeah. And then you form tribes and clans and nations, and people come in and they intermarry. We always intermarry. We always moved around. You integrate into, if you move from Nubia to Upper Egypt, then you integrated into Egyptian culture and society. And then we've always been doing that. So
even from there, you have some that when they got that far, they went back up into North Africa, what is now Libya, Tunisia, Algeria. Those are the people that we all hear about, the Moors, right? Everybody talks about the Moors. We were all Moors, you know. We had one guy just tell us recently, and he said, you know, we're all Moors. That's impossible. We cannot all be from one tribe on the continent. Some of us, some of us, and those people will have the like mentalities and characteristics and personalities of that tribe. And that is one thing that you find out when you come home. Just like Sister Yaa said, I don't need no DNA test. I ain't took one. I don't have no intentions of taking one. What I do know is that here on the ground,
me either.
I feel like I know my tribe, and they know me when they see me. They look at me and tell me, "You one of us."
Exactly. They tell me all the time.
You from this tribe, and that's the Pull tribe here.
They look at your facial features. They look at your body makeup, and they can tell you where you come from. They don't need a DNA test. They literally can look at you. Yeah. It's funny. I got a story about that. My daughter-in-law, she took the African ancestry one, but before then, a Cameroonian had told her that she was from Cameroon. He told her with the tribe and everything, just looking at her face and her shape. He told her that, and then it was confirmed. They did the African ancestry DNA. My son bought it for her for a gift, and sure enough, exactly where he said she was from. He said because she looked, when he saw her, she was in South Africa. When she walked into his shop, when he looked at her, he literally started crying. He said she looked just like his aunt who had just passed away. And it was like looking at a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my son my son did the DNA test, and she came from the very people that he said that she's from, the very ones.
Man. And that happened to another guy that we had here. I don't know if you guys watch my show, Africa's for Africans, on YouTube, but we had a brother actually on our show, another African-American. He was here with us for a while. This guy traveled to somewhere in Europe. I can't remember where, Germany or something like that, the Netherlands. And he says he ran into an African guy in the nightclub. And then the guy looked at him and said, "Where are you from?" And he said he didn't know. The guy told him, "No, I know where you're from. You're from Senegal." And he said he took his DNA test and literally found out that he was, and I can't remember the percentage, but he was some percentage Senegalese. That guy came here to Senegal. I promise you, if he don't open his mouth, you would never distinguish him from I promise you. If he don't say nothing to you, you would look at this man and immediately think he was a local person. And he was wowed by that. He fell in love. He just stayed here. He came on a visit.
Yeah.
The guy came literally to visit for a few days and literally felt like he found his family and didn't want to leave. Stayed there for months. Then he went back to America for, I guess, some time. And now he's here again. We just saw him recently. He's back here. He's like, "No, I'm here for good now." Like, "No, I'm with my family."
Right. He's home now. He's home.
Yeah,
he's home. And this is, we were just, where were we? Oh, yesterday we were at, they had the right of return town hall meeting again yesterday. I think you saw me post it. I streamed it live. If y'all haven't seen it, go to Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program and watch it. And this is the consistent thing that everybody said. The room was full of diasporans, and they were saying the same thing. When they got here, they felt like they were home. And as somebody who grew up in the military, I was in the military, I always felt like no matter where we moved, after a couple of years, I feel like, I'm over. I never felt home anywhere. I never did. I moved everywhere. The Mississippi, my hometown, it felt familiar. It felt familiar, but I never felt like I was at home. You know what I mean? It's familiar because that's where my family, all my folks live, but I never felt like it's my home. Not until I got to Africa. And this is the first time my spirit has really been at peace. Like, I can really be here. I don't have to go anywhere else. I'm at home now. It's a feeling that I really can't describe. You have to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but I moved around. I lived in the Caribbean. I done been everywhere. And I finally feel home now.
Is it? So speaking of feeling home, our next guest just recently touched down on the continent. She brought her young one with her. She's now living here in Senegal. We've been connected for a while on social media. They call her the Afro Millennial Mama. Her name is Aisha. Welcome to the show, Aisha. How you doing? You gotta unmute your mic.
All right, there we go. Is that good?
Peace. How you doing, Aisha?
You hear me all right?
Greetings.
Good. It's nice to meet you both virtually. I've been watching you guys, what you're doing for a while, and I'm very honored to be on this panel with you. So
we're honored to have you.
Absolutely. Glad
wow,
to have
that's
you
cool.
On. So you just touched down on the continent really recently. How has it been since you've been here, and how you adjusting?
Whew, that's a question. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's definitely an adjustment. It's different than vacation, that's for sure. But I could use a burger every now and then and things like that. But I'm doing well. I'm keeping my eyes on the prize and what I actually what our goals are. So that keeps me from being as homesick as I normally get around the 1 month mark, which usually that's the way I feel when we come on vacation. So I expected it, but I'm very blessed that we have family that embrace me as a tubob, and they teach me everything. They teach me everything that I need to know, and as far as cultural stuff, and are very flexible with the things that I like, food, whatever. So it's been really great for my daughter. Actually, it's been the best transition I could have hoped for. She's here with her cousins. In 1 week, her Wolof she's 4. She's about to be 5 in a couple of months.
The kids, it's amazing. The kids, it's amazing. When I was here, when Asar was 3, he was my interpreter. He was telling me everything.
That's what happens. I have to ask her. Yes, it's amazing. I'm so jealous. I've been practicing for years, and she just surpassed me just like that.
The kids did it, man. They did it. But sis, let me give you some advice. Go to the market, get you some ground beef, and make you a damn burger, okay?
But wait. You that hard, right?
Listen. That's what I go to the supermarket. The things that my kids, miss and like, I just go. I said, okay, but here in Ghana, we got a whole lot more of the Western stuff here. My kids went to the mall and saw Burger King. So it's been on ever since. they saw Burger King.
We
Wow.
have now.
Yeah, but
That was one of
I
my
go
things. I'm
get.
not even gonna
I
lie.
just
Like my first few years here, like I was missing, those American foods. Like I was like, and where I lived at was like really rural, for a while before moving to Dakar. And now here in Dakar, they got it all, man. There's a restaurant here named Dream. If you
I
ain't been
had
there,
the
Aisha,
burger.
come to
Yes,
Dream. Let me know when you come. I'll come link with you. We can come and have a
for
meal together, my
sure.
sister.
For sure.
But
For
they
sure.
got
No,
yeah,
all
you
the
I've been,
still
American
get all the stuff
delicacies,
that you
and
used to now. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I got some tortilla shells. I just made a sauce and tacos. You know.
they got Taco Tuesday now. I was like, whoa.
Wow. I heard they have Amazon. I was like, okay, it's coming
Man, it's
along.
all coming. It's all
So
coming. It's
all my
gonna get
little
easier for you.
fixes.
So today's show is about manifesting the new year.
Okay.
You're here in a new country with your child. Going into this new year. What are you manifesting for yourself and your family, and how are you going about manifesting it?
Well, I like what you said earlier about writing things down. That's a habit that I have every year. I write down our family goals as well as my personal ones and kind of map out how I'm going to do it. So it's not just there, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I actually put my schedule of workouts or what I'm going to eat. And so I'm going to get ready to do that tomorrow. And what I want, the dream that we had when we decided to move here now was that we really want to invest in different things and be entrepreneurs. It's something that we never really thought about doing in the States because of all the hurdles and the stress and the debt and the red tape. So, we had this pandemic time to think, and it kind of accelerated our process. We were planning to come here and retire in 10 years or maybe 8 at the, shortest. But everything being put into perspective, it was really depressing to see our lives continue to not be valued back home. And having a kid, it even weighs more on you because these are things I'm gonna have to explain to her. And it was just like I don't want to repeat history again. So I told my husband, I said, I wanna escape. Like, and we every day we were grinding, writing down ideas of what we can do, how we can invest, where we can get funds. And our ideas seemed like they were so concrete that it was to a point where I was like, let's sell the house. Like, it's debt anyway, it's a
Yeah.
mortgage, like, at the
It's
end
an
of the
anchor.
day. So yes, exactly that. And a couple of my colleagues passed away this year, and it just felt like people retire, and then 2 months later, like, we're not living. Our lifestyle sucks. My
Right.
father is in a assisted living facility because all my siblings work. We live in the same town. I'm from Inglewood, California. My mother lives 1 block away. We still couldn't have the time to take care for him, and so we had to put him in a place. And I'm like, that would never happen here. And just being exposed over the years, I've been married for 10 years, to different ways of thinking from my husband's culture. It just opened my eyes, and I realized, like, I'm outgrowing certain people. I'm outgrowing certain ways of thinking, family members, whatever it be. And it's just, I know that there's something better, even though it's not the place that I know, it's not my home, per se. But my husband lived in the States for 10 years and he adapted. So I figure it's my turn, to return the favor and
Yeah.
It's your turn,
and re-
sis.
and and reap the benefits. And he kept selling me on stuff like, we could have a housekeeper, and we could have more
That
kids.
always gets the women. That always gets the
Yeah.
women. All of the
Because
moms
Yeah.
love that part. As soon as you tell them it's a
the
lady involved, yeah, what? I'm coming.
man, the 9 to 5 will kill you. And then you're trying to cook for somebody when you get home and spend time with your kid and
That's a
go to the
lot.
gym. And it's just too much. And
Yeah.
I noticed whenever I would come here on vacation, people would work, but they still hang out with you at the end of the day, go out with you at night like it was nothing. And I'm like, what's wrong with us? So this was a scary thing to do. While we were doing it, I think I was so tunnel vision that I didn't really recognize how monumental it was until I actually did it and I got here and I said, oh shoot, you know. But I'm a prayerful person. I feel like everything was aligned, and you know, if all else fails, I got a roof over my head. I don't have to work. I got people cooking. You know, it's my blood pressure is going down. I probably already lost 10 pounds.
Yeah, all of that. All of that.
So,
all of
you
that.
know, so
I
want to live, you know.
Yeah, I think that really is, you know, really something that and it's crazy that you even end up and say that I want to live. And I think that even more than the detrimental food that we consume in America, even more than the detrimental environment, the toxic racism, all of these other really, you know, crazy things we adore, I think really the lack of peace of mind as a whole is what's killing us.
Yes,
that is literally what's killing us. I'm gonna tell you something. Like in the U.S., one of my greatest, and I'm not gonna say fears, but just something that really always had my heart in a knot was driving. Just something simple as driving. And I'm not somebody who's doing anything illegal. You know, I've always had my own businesses. I've always drove nice cars. Anybody who knew me in America knows I've always been a driver, and I've always done a lot of driving. I've always been you know. But every
that's scaring me just hearing you say that.
Car,
I know,
my heart,
because I know the exact feeling he's talking about. That anxiety. Yeah.
My husband wanted to drive
every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
My husband wanted to drive our shipping stuff from LA to Atlanta. I told him there's no way. There's an election right now. I'm like, there's no way. I had to scare him to be like, no, you cannot do it. And it just made me think like we're so not free that you can't even drive across your own country. Yeah.
That anxiety is what's killing us. We got to get out of that. We got to get to our peace of mind. T.I., matter of fact, was talking on his podcast the other day, Expeditiously, and he said, frankly, like flat out, when I go to Africa, is a weight off of me. I don't feel like folks is trying to kill me all the time. It's like it is. It is. Actually take time to take in the sights, take in the culture, enjoy the company of my brothers and sisters. I don't have to feel like this.
Wow. And it don't matter if you got money.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't. Not in America. It doesn't matter.
Sometimes it make it worse because they don't want to see you doing good.
Yeah. A lot of times. So going into 2021, we about to really see things take a whole nother shift. This reset, as we call it. A lot of things are taking shape and developing into other things, and part of that is the growing pains. But what would you say is the number one thing that anybody who is watching right now should do or could do to be where you are in their near future?
Buy a plane ticket and visit Africa somewhere. It will change your life. And people say that, and I didn't really realize it the first few times I came. But once you, how do I say this? Once you get past the way things appear, because I think looking at the US or the West, it looks a certain way. It looks all nice and clean. Some places look off. Yes. But then you get there and you realize how rough and raw it is. Helicopters every night and shootings, and you see, kids getting shot at school and church, like all those crazy things. And then you come here, it's a little dusty some places. You see sand everywhere.
Real dusty on my street, but it's okay.
And so you would think, it's a poor area. And then you walk into somebody's home and it's like a mansion. I'm like, okay.
And they love you like a brother, like a sister. And that is, that even a good example is this guy at this restaurant. What's this restaurant in Atlanta? It's a Japanese restaurant. The brother and his wife walks in. He's got on tennis shoes, and the folks tell him he can't come on with his tennis shoes, right?
I heard.
And I took not even that day we watched that video. I said, man, this is what is keeping so many of us in America is places stuff like this. This beauty, this big old nice plazas with all these bright lights and everything shiny, and then you walk inside and they still treat you like a nigga.
Yeah.
Every other Instagram video I see is somebody. I think D.L. Hughley always posts the ones where the people acting a fool, and it's just like I don't want to deal with that energy. I can't go to the beach in LA, certain beaches, because they're gonna be there and bother me or bother somebody that look like me. I just don't want to deal with it. When I was leaving to come here at LAX, there was one of them standing right next to me acting like, oh, you're too close to me. Can you move? And I told the ticket counter lady, she was black. I said, this is why I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. Because these spoiled brats that get all like huffy and stuff, like they own everything. And not having to deal with them has been, oh my gosh, just like the attitude and the arrogance and the power that they have, because the leverage that they have over you. It's just too many little videos of people acting a fool, and I don't want to live with those kind of people. And I used to think that was my country and I have to stay there and enjoy and reap the benefits, but it's not worth it. It's not worth my
even what you said about just the videos every day. On back onto the topic of manifesting. How do we manifest greatness? That's one thing that I think that we got to start shaking off. Even if it means for us to take breaks from social media, it doesn't have to be all at the same time. I know sometimes we've tried to organize these, everybody turn off your phone for 3 days type thing. It doesn't have to be that, but take time to clear your head of these things. We recognize and we understand that these specific traumas, these things that we are witnessing are causing an anxiety, are causing a negative effect in our spirits. It is damaging our own moral compasses many times. We become our oppressors when we succumb to our oppressors for so long. And once we break free of that, once we get away from that, even if it's not in leaving the country, everybody can't do that. We understand that, but unplug for a while. Turn off the social media. Don't watch the nightly news for a little bit. Turn off the radio. I love my, I ain't gonna lie, I love my ratchet music just as much as everybody else. All right. I'm from Atlanta. Okay. I listen to all the same stuff y'all listen to. Okay. But at times we gotta break free of that. We gotta just turn it off and just really allow ourselves to reprogram into a better space. There was a time when I was living in Cowlack, 4 hours outside of Dakar, where I just went into isolation for a while. This was in my first year here. I went and I literally just stayed on a farm for a week or more and just took time to just break away from everything. I didn't want anything to interrupt my space. And I think that if we can get into a habit of doing that on a regular basis, taking these breaks from social media, breaks from the toxic media and music and entertainment, breaks from, whatever is keeping our spirit in low vibrations, we will be able to see above the BS. Because that's something that is really a hindrance to us. A lot of times is the blinders that are in front of us. We're distracted, right? We're so distracted with protests and riots and Trump and COVID, and everybody's so distracted with these
it takes a toll.
We don't even have time to think about our spiritual development. We don't even have time to think about, teaching our children, improving their education and their wisdom. We don't have time to think about going out and learning how to farm and grow our food and create our own currencies. And we don't even have time because we're so blinded and so distracted. So let's
trying to survive.
If we want to manifest greatness, my brothers and sisters, I'm pleading with you. Take breaks, unplug, deprogram, detoxify yourselves, and then come back and work it back into a way that's more beneficial and sustainable. Sister Aisha, thank you so much for joining us on today's
Thank
show.
you.
Much love. Welcome to Senegal. Welcome to the continent. We wish you the best, and same to your husband and your daughter.
Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you when I'm in Dakar.
Absolutely. All right.
Bye.
Everybody, that's Afro Millennial Mama on Instagram. And we're going to, sorry, we have another guest actually about to pop up here. So we're going to definitely keep up with her in the future. Sister Yaa, what you going to be breaking free of? What are you going to detoxify from?
Well, now that I'm over here, I'm literally in a good space mentally, physically. Like I said, the weight is coming off. Like the sister was saying, blood pressure. When I went and had my blood pressure check, it was down low, like normal. You know what I mean? I haven't done anything. It's all these good fruits and vegetables and drinking this water and getting this vitamin D. So just want to use this time.
That's the one that I got to get on. I got to get on that. I mean, I'm bad. You know, I like to eat. My wife been trying to get me on these more healthy diets and more meat.
You're a foodie. You're a foodie.
I'm a Flintstone when it comes to meat. I like my beef. I like my lamb chops. I like, but I think this year that's what I'm gonna detoxify from. I'm gonna try to, stay away from, some of the more heavier red meats. Try and
I guess that would be one of the ones of that because I went and had my kidney levels and everything checked, and that was the levels were a little high, and he told me to cut out the meat because I like meat too.
Right.
So I guess I'll go more to fish. More fish. I don't have to end it all together, but I do eat a lot of meat, especially that goat. Ooh, Sister Yaa wear a goat ass out.
Man, on a regular basis. Lamb chops, they really are unavoidable. It's like as soon as you smell them, you walk past them, I'm getting me some of them lamb chops.
Exactly.
Try to kill them before I get home. My wife get on me.
Yep. And I guess the other thing, not really detoxify. Well, yeah, detoxify from negative people, negative. Try to zone those people out, not feed into all the negative, energy, naysayers and all that stuff. Focus on, helping this organization grow as well as my private businesses that my husband and I have. Though trying to make those, and that's actually happening. That is really things are happening. It's falling into place. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about what the new year is going to bring because things are falling into place in a lot of areas.
Nice. So we got another guest on with us. We're going to bring on right now. This is Exodus Radio, and we're talking today about manifesting the new year. How can we manifest greatness going into 2021? We've got our sister here on the line with us, Sister Rahima Nkisi. Welcome to Exodus Radio, my sister. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, welcome. Sister Rahima is one of the directors for Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program. She's in the Gambia. Welcome, sis.
Yay. Greetings. It's such a lovely program that you all have. It's really wonderful just to hear everything that Sister Aisha was saying and everything. It's just wonderful. Give thanks. So,
thank you.
In terms of manifesting, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yes. We're trying to give our people some advice and encouragement on manifesting what they want for the next year. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a very critical thing. It's a very critical topic. And it's for us to understand, recognize, and realize our power, which we kind of been robbed of the idea, not the power, we still have it, but we've been robbed of the idea that we have the power to manifest and create. So my suggestion, and this is for myself as well as everyone else, is that we start to sleep and wake our vision. So before you go to sleep, me too, before I go to sleep, envision what I would like for my future to look like, for our future to look like. So that's a part of what you guys mentioned earlier about being on social media and being inundated with somebody else's ideas and somebody else's pandemic and all of that. But it doesn't allow us and afford us space and time to create the reality in the world and the globe and the universe that we desire. And
Right.
already we've lost the idea and the concept that we can actually do that. But what I saw from the first Iraqi war is that these people seed our minds and afford themselves our ability to manifest whatever it is that they want because they're seeding our minds. And then we are the ones that are actually creating the reality that they desire. So it's critical that we're able to grasp our own minds and lay down and relax and lay your head back and just envision how you want things to be, how we want things to be, not only for our individual selves, but for our folk and even for the planet, as we are the keepers of the planet. So, and the same thing when we rise in the morning, the same thing. And the reason I say sleep and wake is because those are supposed to be the most powerful times for your imagination to be one with God, with the creative force and the creative energy. So, it's very important just before we go to sleep. When you start feeling that tingle and when you feel that sleep coming on, that you're dreaming and envisioning whatever it is that we desire. And the same thing when we wake in the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I believe 100% that whatever you put on your mind, if whatever goal, whatever desire, that's why a lot of people talk about creating a vision board. A vision board. You get a board, you put it up somewhere where you can see it all the time throughout the day. You put on that vision board what you want to manifest, what you want. What's going to end up happening subconsciously is you're going to start moving in area, and your actions are going to start going in a way that's going to make those things happen. You understand what I'm saying? So if you put on the vision board that you want to buy a house, and you looking at that every day, and you got the house up there, you got what it looks like, and you seeing it all day, every day, then you are automatically going to start doing things, putting things in place to help you get that house. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important. This is literally how you manifest. And I agree with the sister. They are inundating our mind with so much bad stuff, so much negativity, so much just craziness to the point where we don't have the space in our brain, to manifest the things that we want for ourselves and for our people. And I agree with her absolutely. We have to start thinking, talking, walking, everything that we want, that what we want, not what they want, what we want. So you're absolutely right about that, sister. This sister left DC and let's see, 2019, was it November or December 2019? Talking about, I'm gonna be gone for about 3-4 weeks. I'll be back. And then, next thing I know, I'm like, Rahima, so when you coming back? I don't know, about maybe 3-4 more weeks. Okay, 2 months go back. Rahima, when you coming back? And now it's been a year you've been in the Gambia.
Over here running for Corona.
Yes, but when you came, you didn't know about the corona. That when you came.
I've been coming back and forth for 30 years now, and
Yeah, I
so
know.
before people were even realizing there was a Senegal or Africa, or you know what I'm saying, we didn't see it as an option. And I tried to have many people come with me. I've asked people, begged people. I've even paid for people to come. And so it's really wonderful to see so many of us just going, just packing up, just going, just coming to Africa. Like
It's
every day,
amazing, isn't it?
it's beautiful, it's mind blowing, and it's beautiful. And I'm very, very pleased to hear like the sister Aisha, even like yourself, Sister Yaa. It's just a blessing. I just be glad when more of my family come because that's what I miss. I miss some of my family, but like that whole chaos that's happening in America, no, I don't miss it
Yeah.
at all. Not 1 minute. I don't need it. But yeah, so I've been
You
coming.
know, when they did the year of return, I think that was the best thing that could have happened because everybody got to see so many of our people from all over the world converge on the continent of Africa, from the Caribbean, from South America, from Europe, from the United States, from Canada. They saw Black people come together and love on each other and have a ball. And from then, it's just like Africa is where it's at for a lot of people. I mean, when I started coming 10 years ago, people looking at me like I was crazy. I'm just 10 years ago. Nobody was interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
people that were here when I got here were majority elderly people. But now it's so many young people here. And when I say young, I'm talking about 30s, early 20s. So
Yep.
many young people are coming. It's beautiful. I'm like, I think I manifested that one because I was saying we need more young people. We need more young people, you know? So, and sure enough, my daughter is here with me. She's 23 and she's got some friends that are in her age group from America, some 20-year-olds, and they go out, they go eat pizza, they hang out together, all from the United States, because they have things in common. So, but I'm just so happy. So she's adjusting really well because she can, hang out with people that know, more about her culture and where she's from and
Right.
stuff like that. And they had everybody out of school here this first semester, but they're starting back in January. So he'll be going back to school, and I know he don't have a problem making friends. That boy, it's not a problem for him at all. He's the friendliest kid you ever wanted to meet. And
How
let me
old is
tell you something. He's 10 now. He's 10. Now, let me tell you something. He said something to me, and I think this kind of goes towards manifesting. He said his 10-year-old, because he's observing everything. He said to me, Mama, I just think it's so cool how a lot of them talking about the Ghanaians, they don't have a lot. They don't have a lot of money and they don't, have big houses and stuff. And he said, but they're always happy. He said, they always happy. He said that the kids are always playing and happy and there's always music and the people are always dancing. He said, they're always happy. He said, and I just think that's so cool that people can be happy even if they don't have money, So I just listened to him, but at the end of the day, that's because their happiness is not attached to material things. You understand what I'm saying? They are, in fact, they decide to be happy or not. And we all can decide to be happy or miserable. You know what I mean? We all can decide. It's a choice. It's a choice to be happy, right? It's a choice. I tell people this all the time. If you find yourself in a funk, if you find yourself feeling miserable, you literally have the power to get yourself out of that space. You do. Nobody else. It's nobody else's job in this world to bring you happiness, to bring you joy. That is your job to do it. So in my neighborhood, it's some people they stay partying around here all the time, every weekend.
it's true.
It's always a party, and I love it. I love it. Just happy, beautiful Black people.
Yeah, I asked the brother last night. I said, there parties happening tonight on a Monday night? He was like, yeah, so yeah.
Even the funerals are a party, and it was something that it took me a minute to get used to when I first got here. Funerals are literally a party. Okay, they're gonna do the funeral part of it first, get that mourning part, but they're gonna go right into the party after that.
Because one funeral I went to, we marched around the bed. I don't know, they did that maybe about 30, 40 minutes singing, and the guy was sitting there on the bed. So because in Ghana, they're very good at embalming. And the guy was sitting there on the bed, looked like he was going to join in and start singing any minute. But people were walking around singing,
Yeah, funerals are a party
real quick,
here.
I just wanted to make a point about what you were just saying about funerals being a party. You know, it's really funny. You know how they talk about, they say that like in New Orleans, they still have the closest, like Louisiana still has the closest culture to here. I don't know if any of you guys grew up in or know people from New Orleans, but in New Orleans, when they do funerals, it is literally a party. They call it, I think it's called like first line and second line.
Yeah.
So the first line is when you're on your way to the cemetery to bury the ancestor. And that's more somber, you know, that's when everybody's paying their respects. But second line is when you're coming from the cemetery on the way to the house or to wherever the funeral
party,
and it's a party. Turn up,
celebrate
instruments,
life.
bang on pots and pans, dance up and down the street, celebrate the ancestor. And my mother used to always tell us that, which was huge. You know, rest her soul. She passed away last year, 2019. And when we were young, she would always tell us, you know, when I pass, don't make it a, you know, somber event. Like make it a party. Like enjoy yourselves, celebrate, you know, that I've gone on to the next realm. And we did that. It was special. You know, I went back to the States. Many of you know I've been here 6 years. I haven't been back to America, but I did go back for 3 days to bury my mother. And when we did that, we did exactly what she wished. We had a party for her after burying her, and it feels better. It really helps you to feel, you know, in a better space about losing that elder. And this year we've lost a lot of people. We've lost a lot of people. In fact, here in Senegal and Kaolack, Medina Bay, just the other day, we lost the daughter of, you know, the Grand Sheikh, the grandfather who built Medina Bay. One of his most prominent daughters passed away about 3 days ago. And, you know, same thing here. You know, we say, you know, from the creator we come, to the creator we go back.
We return,
and that is coming to terms with it. It's not, oh man, she died. We don't cry. You don't pour your heart out. And, you know, from the creator we all come, and to the creator we all go back. Now let's celebrate the life of this ancestor.
Absolutely. And just you do the best that you can while you be a good person, you be a decent person, you be an honorable person, and then you don't have no problems when it's your time to go on back home to the arms of the, you know, the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Well, Sister Rahima, I want to thank you so much for coming on and contributing to the discussion today. I really appreciate you, especially on such a short notice.
Thanks so much, Sister Rahima.
Getting back there. Thank you all. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for dreaming big and including us in your.
For sure.
What happened? Did she accidentally cut herself off?
I think so. But so thanks so much for chiming in, my sister, and also the other guests who called in earlier, Sister Ebony and her husband. These are the kind of conversations we have to continue to have when it comes to manifesting our futures, manifesting greatness. We have to continue to build with each other. This is the reason why we do this program, Exodus Radio, because we understand that this kind of information sharing, this kind of collective development, this kind of, you know, reaching across the ocean, so to speak, is what's necessary to bring ourselves to a higher level of consciousness, to a higher level of development, coming out of our former selves as consumers, as you know, all of these different toxic environments that we've grown used to, and transforming ourselves into our next level of developers, of creators, of you know, independence, but not independent of each other, collective, united. And on this fourth day of Kwanzaa, it is Ujamaa, which is building collectively, right? So let's talk more about that in today's show. Make sure you guys drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what are you manifesting for 2021? How are you manifesting it? And you know, what are you leaving behind in 2020? I know we got a lot to leave behind in 2020 though.
Yes, absolutely. Do we have any other guests in the back?
Not yet. But we do have some other guests who are supposed to be calling in before the end of today's show. But we do also want to remind you all, if you are interested in engaging the continent, if you are interested in coming home or investing here, or even just coming for a visit, like my sister said earlier, just buy a plane ticket and come visit. If you're interested in doing that, reach out to us. We are here to provide you guys with the assistance that you need in order to make that happen. We have devoted ourselves and our lives and our careers and our talents and our skills and our experience to educating our brothers and sisters, to reaching and helping and making sure that other people can have a better road at this than even we had. And we will continue to do that as it is our mission at this point. This is what we're here to do. So visit the website, as you see on the bottom of your screen, is madeinaafricaproject.com. That's madeinaafricaproject.com to join our Exodus Repatriation and Investment Program, where we give you one-on-one ongoing consulting, literally helping you to research options on the ground, giving you inside information, creating relationships for you that will be necessary for your development here, finding you properties, apartments, land, helping you to get your businesses registered here on the ground, assisting you with getting residency, assisting you with shipping your stuff from the Americas or wherever else you are in the world and getting it through the port here. All of these things are part of a strenuous process, but it can be a lot easier with assistance. And for those who don't actually have all of the funds that you need, or you need additional assistance with making that trip or starting a business here on the ground, Sister Yaa and the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program are right now taking contributions to be able to turn those contributions into assistance for those who need it. We have to be our own solutions. Some of our members just the other day were talking about how can we create programs that are able to sustainably help those who cannot do it for themselves. And it came right back to Sankofa. That exists already, guys. It was built for that purpose. So for those of you who do have the means, for those of you who do have an excess income or savings stacked up, consider contributing some to the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program. You can do so via the donorbox.org Exodus Alliance link on the screen there. You can donate any amount, $1, $5, $10, $100 a month, and make sure that somebody else has resources that they may not be able to afford. We're the only ones that can help ourselves, guys. There's no welfare in this, right? There's no government assistance. There's no food stamps. There's no Section 8. Like, nobody's going to just come out of the sky and be able to make this happen for us other than us. We are our own saviors. And so those programs have been set up for that purpose. If you are in need of that assistance, make sure to go to sankofarepat.com. Again, that's sankofarepat.com. Or is it .org, sister?
It's .com.
.com. Okay, sankofarepat.com. And sign up there, get on the list. It's a sort of a waiting list, right? So those funds are not just pouring out right now, but we do need a list. We do need to know who needs the help so that when the funds are available, we can put you guys in touch with those resources. Please,
so I have to always make this clear to people, because I have literally thousands of requests for assistance, but we don't have 300, literally less than 300 donors. People who say I can give $1 or $5 or $10 a month to this cause, but we got all these people asking for help, but we only have a handful of people actually putting, trying to help the movement. And I said this the other day, last night at the right of return. Those of us who are here on the ground, we are the fortunate ones, because everybody don't have it. And we have, so some of us are able, some of you who are on here, you making your plans, you're able to do it. You don't really need assistance, but it doesn't really feel right to say I made it. You have to have that type of Harriet Tubman type of thing. It doesn't feel right to say, okay, I got out, screw everybody else. because we know that these people have kept as a race, our people economically oppressed for the past 400 years, not just in America, but in South America, in the Caribbean, and in the UK. We just haven't been able to, as a group of people, create that type of generational wealth where we could just pack up and go to another country, because we're like clogs in the system. We're stuck there. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to, I don't want this to be a middle class movement. I don't want it to be just the people who can afford it, because to me that doesn't feel right, because none of us asked to be taken away. None of our ancestors asked to be kidnapped and stolen and human trafficked across the Atlantic. And so the people who are over there as a result of the transatlantic slave trade who want to come home deserve to be able to come home. That's so right. Somebody has to help them. Somebody. And who else but us? Who else but us?
That's right.
You know,
there's so many, like you say, the people who need it the most at times are those people who are in the most dire situations. Let me give you this whole thing has developed into so many shapes now that we understand where the trouble spots are, where the necessary target zones, who needs this the most, who needs what parts of it the most. And we are seeing that a lot of our brothers and sisters who've been laid off during this COVID crisis, a lot of our brothers and sisters who've gone through family losses this year, losing heads of their households or losing their financial providers. We've seen a lot of people this year whose businesses crumbled or were closed down due to COVID. We got a sister right now had a beauty salon. Her beauty salon's been closed down now for months and months. These people are not just, we're not talking about lazy people. We're not talking about those who don't want better or don't try to get better for themselves. We're talking about people who've been put in some situations that are very, dire, and they need the assistance. They need somebody to help them. Just a month ago, we welcomed a sister here on the ground with her 4 children, and perfect example. And this is a sister who was working and doing well in the States, had a great business running in LA, Los Angeles, and doing very well. But during her, journey back home, things happened. She got, knocked off track, and then actually made it here. All right, so that's to me, that's the heroic part, right? Yeah. This is somebody who went through dire scrapes halfway through and said, "I'm still gonna finish. I'm still gonna get there with my 4 children." And so with the resources that we have, we came to the table and we said, well, you're here now. We're going to help you with this, and this. This is what we can help with, right? We're not rich people. We're not the government. We don't have all of these, resources in the world. But what we do have, we're willing to share with those people who are in need, especially those people who are making it still work, right? So, like I always tell people, faith is the continuation of steps, even when you don't see the floor. Okay? That is a lesson that I've taken with me through my entire life, guys. Faith is the continuation of steps, even when you do not see the floor ahead of you. You can't see where you're stepping at, but you keep on planting them feet forward, right? That's faith. Yeah. And when you do that, other people will come to your assistance. Other people will. It's just like that blind man, right? He can't see, but he gonna step off that curb because he know he got to get to the other side of the street. And he's so adamant about it that first step off the curb, 2 or 3 people gonna run up to him and say, "Sir, let me help you. Come on, let's let me help. You really want to get across this street bad? Let me help you out." And that's us. So let's keep it moving. Let's definitely put our minds together and make sure that everybody who wants this for themselves and for their families can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
All right. So that website, guys, madeinafricaproject.com, or you can donate at the donorbox.org/Exodus-Alliance. And we will definitely be able to put your contributions to work. If you are somebody who has the means to invest or relocate, go ahead and join our Exodus Club, become a member. Let us work with you day and night to make sure that you get here, effectively, safely, and sustainably. All right. Kwanzaa. All right, it is Kwanzaa. I'm looking for somebody to come in the chat room and tell us a little bit about Kwanzaa. I'm gonna drop the link into the chat. I believe that's the link. There we go. All right. If you're watching and you want to share something with us about Kwanzaa, today is Ujamaa. All right. It is the day of collective
cooperative
work,
economics. Yeah, collective
right.
works, cooperative economics.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So if you want to join us, come on, click the link. We're going to chop it up with you about the manifesting of the new year, going to 2021. What else is happening?
You want to share with us what you're manifesting and how you're manifesting for the new year? Come on in and chat with Brother RJ and Sister Yaa.
Come on in. Sandy Sand says, I must be missing the donor box on the page. The donor box link is actually scrolling across the screen right now, and the ticker at the bottom. So there are two links in that ticker. The first one is the Made in Africa Project website, which is where you can sign up to join the Exodus Repatriation and Investment Club. The second link that you see there is the www.donorbox.org/Exodus-Alliance. And that is where you can make a financial contribution to this movement and to be able to help somebody else who cannot afford it receive additional assistance. All right. All right, guys. So the link is in the chat on all platforms. And just so you guys know, we are live right now on several different platforms. The first of which, our Africa Day 2020 page, where many of you watched us go live in May with our Pan-African panel and speakers. So that page is on Facebook, Africa Day 2020, or facebook.com/Africa Day News. And I want to bring you guys attention to that because now there's a new news program coming out of that platform that's been taken off these past few days. So go there. We're going to have a lot of updates of things going on here on the ground and around the world. The other platform that we're live on right now is the Black Kings and Queens Project. And that page is just over 250,000 followers on Facebook. Page all about being our royal selves, creating that kingdom environment where we all work together and build economically and enjoy our wealth the way we're supposed to with our people. And so that page is on Facebook as well, the Black Kings and Queens Project. We are live there today. Shout out to all of the viewers from the BKQ Facebook page. We're also live on my YouTube, RJ Mahdi. If you haven't tuned in there or subscribed, make sure to do so. RJ Mahdi on YouTube. We've got tons of videos of what we do here in Senegal.
Yeah. And let me just say, for those who are interested in learning more about Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program, you can go to our website at sankofarepat.com and read up on what the mission is, what we're trying to do, following the footsteps of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and help get our people back on the continent. The goal is to act as a business incubator, okay? Because our people need a way to sustain themselves when they get here. We need to be entrepreneurs. We got to get out of the mindset. Do not come here to Africa looking for a job. Get that out of your mind. I tell people that all the time. Get it out. Just take that idea, toss it. Yes, you got to be job creators. So the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program seeks to act as a business incubator. Once we reach our financial goals, see, we're not trying to just get you over here and pay for some housing and let you just sit up and lay up and be on vacation. That's not what we want to do. We're not going to do that. Right. This is for people who need to start businesses and become self-sufficient and independent on the continent of Africa. And like Brother RJ said, be job creators. So, but we need the support of the people to start these businesses and get people over here to be business owners. That's what the Sankofa for Repatriation Assistance is about. The goal is to provide other services as well, such as providing people with temporary housing, a monthly stipend, as well as an adopted family, a family that's going to help you integrate into the culture and the society where you are, that's going to look out for you and, till you get your bearings. And it's important to be a part of a family. I cannot stress that enough. It's important to integrate and become part of a family, and and for cultural integration, it's highly important. Everybody's not going to be married
built on family.
Exactly.
Is built on that. That's what's
and
valuable.
they're gonna look out for you. They're gonna look out for you. I'm telling you right now. I was telling RJ before we came on how I fell down and hurt my leg, and I was with my husband's friends. They scooped me up, put me in the car, took me to the ER. They stayed there while I got my stitches. I didn't even have to pay. They paid for it. That's family. You understand what I'm saying? They've been calling and checking on me every day since then. Like, okay, send me a picture of your leg. What's your leg look like? Have you take your medicine? You know what I'm saying? Family. You need family when you get here. You don't want to be in isolation. Okay. So, by the way, let me just say this. I went to the ER with a big old gash, leg open, got about 30 stitches. And you know what my bill was? Less than $100. And that included the antibiotics and the yes, that included my antibiotics and my pain pills. Oh, yeah, I messed my leg up. But yeah, I got about 30 stitches in my leg. Yeah, and less than $100. Less than $100. Doctor did great work. I took the bandages off and looked at it, and I'm like, I don't even think I'm gonna have a scar. He hooked me up.
Man, I can only imagine that, man, and that's true, man. Here, like medical bills are extremely low. Now, the one thing that I would say to folks is, it is
Marcella.
So keep that in mind for people who, yes, medical bills are low, but it's a cash business, so you gotta have cash to pay for it, or else they might not touch you. So make sure that you try and have put together for those kind of emergencies.
Yeah, everything is cash here. It's a cash society. We don't do credit. But I was just thinking. To me, I was just thinking about how much that ER bill would have been had I been in the States.
Several thousand, easy.
They
charge they charge something like $300 for a bag of IV for an IV bag.
Right.
For a bag of saline water.
Right.
So
Sister Marcella just asked me if we assist with only repatriation only to Ghana. No, the goal is to start once. Now let me be clear, because we haven't reached our financial goal. What I'm trying to get, which I think is attainable, is 1 million people committed to a minimum of $1 a month. $1 for a quarter. We can create mass exodus like that. We can really start getting people out. We can be getting them from the UK, from the Caribbean, from South America. We can be getting people here and setting them up. If we got 1 million brothers and sisters that say, I have 4 quarters every month I'm going to give to this program, I think that's very attainable and reasonable, don't you?
Yeah,
brother RJ.
I think that we definitely have way more people than that who are interested in this type of solutions. We have way more people than that are in a position to do it, and we have way more people than that who are literally on their way. You guys don't understand what we feel from this end, right? There was a period several years ago where this whole space was just about educating. It was literally just about putting seeds in people's heads, getting them to understand what Africa is, going through and how they can see themselves. It was a different angle. And then over the years, it became more just, visiting, right? Everybody wanted to just come and stay for a week, 3 days, 5 days. And then it became, okay, now I've been there, I want to invest, right? So I want to buy land, I want to build a business, I want to start a farm. But now the entire space is I'm coming home. And every couple days, we're welcoming people here. It's the push, the rush right now. So saying that to say, all of you guys, and I know there are many, many more of you down the pipeline who are all going to be here very soon. Take a few dollars out of your budget. Take $5 a week. Take $10, a week. Take $100 a month. Put it into these kind of programs so we can help each other. Also, make sure that you engage with those of us who are here on the ground in advance so that we can properly welcome you, so that we can properly look out for you, so that we can, organize our own communities to embrace you. That's what we're doing here in Senegal. Every time a new family gets here, all of us families who are here already, we get together. We have some type of a social event. We go out, we play sports, we go out to dinner, we go to the beach, we relax, we welcome each other, we share our experiences, we share our resources. As soon as we all get together, you start to hear, oh, who did you use for your shipping? Who did you guys go through for this? Or, how did you guys manage with that? Or, what schools are you guys using for your kids? Or how do we, and we start having these conversations, we start having these kind of interactions. And before you know it, people are getting settled in. They're comfortable. They're being able to build and start their families on a whole new note. So, let's engage each other, guys. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You are not alone in this. We're all in this together.
And to answer Sister Marcella's question, the goal is to start in 5 countries to start with, because we have people in those countries, which is Sierra Leone, where Brother Foday is, and Chief Foday and his wife, Senegal, which is where RJ is, Gambia, where Sister Rahima is, and in Nigeria. I got some contacts in Nigeria. Y'all don't know them though, but we got people on the ground that help integrate people and make sure they get settled in and stuff like that. So we want to start with those countries, but then the goal is to expand it as the program grows, where people can go wherever they want on the African continent. Because I'm not interested in telling people that they got to be somewhere. If you want to go to Rwanda, if you want to go to Tanzania or South Africa, it doesn't make Sister Yaa any difference. As long as you want to come to Africa and get set up, the goal is to eventually, particularly working with State of the African Diaspora, they're trying to get little, what we call, quote, embassies set up in all the 54 countries for our people, so that you can have resources and have a point of contact and have somebody physically there that can address any issues that arise. So we're all kind of working together. So wherever we're lacking in one area, we have somebody on the ground in that area. But all these things, guys, it costs money. I'm just going to be quiet. We can't manifest this out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? But, and I say all the time, I'm not going to take it personal if it doesn't come to fruition, because that's what it's saying to me is it's not something that people want. If the people want it, then it will come, it will happen. So, even though I thought of the idea.
Shout out also, I'm sorry, Coach, I've got to give a shout out also to the State of the African Diaspora, because, these folks are really creating a very positive structure for our diplomatic representation. I have to really give it to them, even just in this past week or so, and without giving too many details, but we have an American sister who was in another country here in Africa, reached out to us, was having some troubles, some struggles. We made one phone call to one of the parliamentary members of the SOAD, of State of the African Diaspora, and they moved in and helped this sister within hours. I really have to give them props. Like, we see things turn bad so easily in the West and where we're from, you know, situations that didn't have to end in violence or didn't have to end in, you know, any bad results, right? We've seen them turn bad very easily. And when the state stepped in a few days ago and helped this sister, I really have to say, like, they intervened in a way that if they hadn't, you know, we could have probably seen, you know, a detrimental situation. So, you know, let's really support the state. This is literally a body, a forming government that is taking the role of representing us, the 300 million members of the African diaspora, home or abroad, moving around the world, wherever we are. We deserve representation. We deserve somebody to speak up for us in diplomatic matters. We deserve somebody to look out for us as we land in these different countries. So like Sister Yaa said, if you want to land in Tanzania, or you want to go to South Africa, or you want to be in Sudan, or if you want to go to Egypt, it doesn't matter, because the state is developing, the state of the African diaspora is developing, you know, these many offices around the continent, representatives, ambassadors, deputies, ministers in all of the 54 African nations, plus dozens of nations in the diaspora, in Jamaica and in St. Martin, in the US and Canada and throughout Europe. These people are all heeding the call to come and, you know, just like in our countries, we see, you know, they call you for this patriotic duty, right? You're in America, you grew up in America, probably somewhere around when you graduated from high school or when you got into university, America started calling you for your patriotic duty, right? You know, join up, you know, come in, you know, etc. And that's okay if that's what you want to do there. But now we have the opportunity to join up and do our patriotic duty for our own continent. So that's literally standing up for each other. You know, lending support across national lines. This is something we really have to break free of, is seeing the colonial borders of Africa as ways to divide ourselves. So another thing Sister Yaa just said, which was very important, it doesn't matter if you come to the country I'm in. You know, that's not what we're here. We're not here to just say, come to the country we're in. We know the most about the country we're in, so we promote our countries that we're in because we all can do that from each country and all provide a variety of options. But whether you land in Ghana with Sister Yaa, or in Namibia, or in Rwanda, or Angola, or Gambia, or in Mali, or wherever you land at, not only are we happy for you that you've made it, we still want to provide you with resources to help you. And we still, you know what I mean? We still want to look out for you and be here as a brother or sister, because technology makes that easy. You know, Sister Yaa is I don't know, maybe a 24-hour drive from me, right? You know, she's about a day or two drive from me, but we can still come together like this and work together and provide resources together. So make no excuses, guys. It's time.
Absolutely. So if the people want it, you know, what was that movie that said "Build it and they will come"? What movie was that?
That's right.
So let's just see if they come. You know, that's it. Sister Marcella asked about the Lumi. If we accept the Lumi, I have to look into how to set up to be able to do that. You know, for I have a personal Lumi account, right? Me, but I have to see how to set one up for the organization. So if people want to donate in the Lumi, I don't have a problem with that.
Same thing. Same here. We plan to accept the Lumi for our services for sure. I think right now the idea is to try and integrate it with our programs. So, for instance, our online store or our invoicing programs, you know, just perfecting that side of it so that there's ease of access and ease of use for you all, for the user. We're partnering right now, or already partnered with a company here in Senegal named PayDunia. PayDunia is the PayPal of Africa. And about 2 weeks ago, we signed a partnership deal with them to provide what we call collaborative processing partnership. And this is going to allow us to not only, use a local and Black-owned payment processor for all of our services, but it also integrates with all of the other money systems that are being used, at least here in Senegal, and I think in 3 or 4 other countries, and they're expanding continent-wide. So not only do they take credit card and debit card, they also connect with things like Orange Money, Wari, Wizall. They've got all these different waves, tons of different money apps. So this is a huge step ahead for the continent because over the past few years, these things have not been available. And we've been, wishing them up. Seriously.
I'm excited about it.
Talk about manifesting.
Because if I can get away from these Western payment systems, that's what I want to do, because they are the worst. They are the worst.
And it really is like those Western payment systems intentionally block Africa from doing business. I mean, it's become apparent that not everything that they've created, or these security systems they create, is not just for security or fraud or scam and these type of things. Like, they literally will just tell you, like, oh, your IP address is in Africa. We don't listen to you. And that's we should have better options than that.
I know so many people who have been cut off from like the money transfer things to send money from the States over to Africa. They just show Western Union, tell them no, you can't. No, we'll ask you 1,000,001 questions.
Right.
Who you sending it to? Do you know this person?
How long you been known?
Yes, and just block people. I know people who, because they got different things going on the continent, so they be sending money all the time for their businesses, for their projects. And these people just shut them off, shut them down. Nuh-uh, you can't do it. Don't give you no reason.
Blackballing and blacklisting in clear.
You can answer all their questions, tell them what you're doing, and then they still turn around and say, "No, come take your money." They won't send it.
That's right. This is facts, guys. So if you're thinking about coming home to the continent, do some really good research and get some good banks and money processing programs on your side. Just to be perfectly honest with you, PayPal is hit or miss. There are some other ones on the market, things like Stripe, even Cash App is hit or miss. You cannot use Cash App debit cards on the continent. If you have a Cash App account that comes with a debit card, you cannot use that card here. Make sure it's hooked up to another bank. It's hooked up to your main bank so that you can use your card. Make sure that you alert your bank that you will be here on the continent. We've had a lot of people who came, didn't tell their bank, and they came, they went to the ATM with their bank card, and they will shut your account down.
It's true.
Banks are
I tell everybody, that's one of the things I tell everybody: notify your bank that you're going to be, what country you're going to be in, because if you try to use that card, and then they're going to think automatically somebody doing some fraud with it, because you can't possibly be in Ghana.
What are you doing? I literally have customer service agents say it like that on the phone. You call them and you go, I'm calling because I have something wrong with my account. I'm in Africa, and Africa. Yeah. What are you doing in Africa? Hey, what you mean?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. So definitely alert your banks. Make sure that you get your bank account strong, get your debit cards. But like I say, Pay Dunya is a new program here on the continent. I'm gonna drop their link in the box here, and you guys can check them out. But it's just like PayPal in the sense that you can create invoices, you can connect it to your online store, you can be abroad and use it from a distance. So a very, very good program. We just signed a contract with them. So you'll be seeing and hearing about them a lot more through our media and through our overall programs. All right. Going into 2021, everybody, we got about how many more days here? About 2-3 more days before the end of the year. Our entire Made in Africa project team is in the Gambia right now. So I want to give a big shout out to them. Pop Low, who's our VP. Many of you guys see him in our Africans for Africans show. Just took a team down to the Gambia, as well as several of our Exodus members. They're down there relaxing. It's not a work tour. It's not the investors tour. We do have one coming up in February for those who would like to go on an investment tour here in Senegal. But they're just down there relaxing for the new year. So shout out to Pop Low, Ishmael, Ibu, and then our members who are with them. You all have a safe trip. Enjoy yourselves down there for the new year. We'll see you back here in a few days. All right. Candace says, I'm in Jamaica right now. My bank allows you to reopen my account online if you're traveling abroad.
I mean, reopen it. Just to travel, you shouldn't have to close it just to travel. You should just
reopen.
That's what I'm on.
You got to have a new bank account to travel abroad. I think that's what she's saying. And that happens here even on the continent. There are some banks here that you will get an account with, and they'll give you a bank card that you can't use nowhere outside of here. Now, you can't use that bank card anywhere else. They have the UEMOA, it's an acronym, UOEMO, I believe. But if you have to actually live in the countries that associate with that, and that's like 5 countries in West Africa, something like that. But so something else just to keep your eye on. Banking on the continent is, it's still in the developing stages. They're still building their global trust.
Do those banks that you're talking about have the Visa MasterCard logo on it or no?
No, they don't have the Visa MasterCard logo.
That's probably why. Yeah. Because I bank with Echo Bank, and Echo Bank is all over Africa. It's a Pan-African bank.
Echo Bank is good. Echo Bank.
Yeah, I can use that anywhere.
Right. Echo Bank is a good one. They call themselves the Pan-African Bank. So
yeah, because they're all over Africa.
Yeah. Also, UBA is a really good bank. United Bank.
Yeah, UBA is here in Ghana too.
By Nigerian billionaire Tony Elumelu. So it's a Black-owned bank, and they do have an office in New York. For those of you who are in the States.
Oh wow.
Office, in Manhattan. It's not a bank branch. Like you can't make transactions there, but they have an office. So it's like an administrative office. So you can still go there. You can open an account there. You can check on your account there, things like that if you need to see a banker. So UBA is a great bank to get involved.
Beautiful. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna be closing out here shortly. I wanted to take some call-ins. I guess you guys are shy. I wanted to see what our viewers are doing to manifest greatness going into the new year. But I think the conversation that we've had today is one, again, that we need to have more often. How are we manifesting our greatness? How are we building our legacies with strategy? Not just, sporadically or impulsively or, being easily swayed or distracted and going in whatever direction the media or whatever tells you. We've got to really put down strategy. I'm going to share something with you guys here. And this is not something I've shared a lot. But when I was here in 2001, I spent a year here. I was 16 years old at the time. When I came here, I saw so many opportunities to solve problems, pretty much. So tons of issues, and many of those issues already had solutions where we're from. And so what that told me is this is huge for development. So during that year that I spent here in 2001, I literally wrote down dozens of ideas, strategies, solutions that I saw. How could we fix that? How could we fix that? One of the things that I knew then at 16 years old that I would come back here and contribute to was, in fact, media. because being here in 2001, I talked about this on a recent show as well. You know, 1 out of every 20 to 30 houses actually had a TV. And at that time, there were, I think, 2 television stations in Senegal, RTS and TFM. And even on those TV stations, you know, there was like one sitcom. There was a show used to come on called Gorgorlu. If you're from Senegal or you grew up here in the late 90s, early 2000s, you know Gorgorlu. And that was like the only sitcom on TV. And everybody would just rush to the TV just to watch that one show. There wasn't nothing else on TV all day. You could go all day and not look at the TV screen, but that show was the one that everybody looked up to. And so, you know, that just told me at that time, you know, there's so much more to be created here. You know, this environment, this region, or this geographic location has not yet embraced or taken advantage of the advancements in media and communication and all of these things. And I wrote out a lot of goals that year, a lot of goals. And to this day, I still have those handwritten goals. To this
manifesting, you manifested.
Day, I
you
still
were
have those
manifesting.
handwritten goals. One of the main goals. Yeah. And so that's manifesting. I look at it often, frequently. I go back and I say, oh, that's, you know. And what's funny is sometimes being here, we even start to do things, and then I'll go back and look at those goals and say, oh, we actually did this.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We didn't know that we were actually doing something from the list, and we did it.
See, you know, a key thing that you said is some people come and look at it and see, and they see, oh, they don't have this, they don't have that. The way you should look at it is this is an opportunity. Wow. This is an opportunity. It's about how your mind works, your mindset. Don't look at it like, oh man, they don't have this. Create it. Make it. You know what I'm saying? And the people will come forward.
People who know money know that challenges equal successful solutions. If there's a challenge, you can solve it and you can be very successful. And the most successful people in the world are there because they solved some challenge. They solved some problem. They brought an answer to some type of an issue, and now it's widely used, and they're wealthy from it. So.
Yeah. Sister Rosalind asks, Sister Yaa, how do I become a monthly contributor? You can either go directly to the sankofarepat.com website, sankofarepat.com, and click on one of the donate. There's a link to the donor box. The donor box is right here at the end of the ticker that's going across the screen. Donorbox.org, Exodus-Alliance. Or you can become a Patreon and donate there. So it's up to you how you want, but either one of those.
Make sure you guys make that contribution. Also, Marcella says that people can also collect their ideas by recording themselves. This is a really good way to do it as well. We all know that they say that, you know, words equal, you know, manifestation as well. Yeah. So speak it into existence, record it, put it down, come back to it later, listen to it, and build from it. So that's a good way. Thanks so much, Marcella. She's always chiming in with good information, good vibes, good vibes. Yeah. We love y'all.
And before we got some great people that tune in every time. So I love you guys. Thank y'all for being such wonderful and dedicated people, brothers and sisters. Before I go, I want to make sure I mention that I have linked up with a sister. Remember, I've been telling you that for a while. I'm looking for a location so that we can do like a community outreach, community interaction with the local youth and people from the diaspora to try, you know, teach them more about us, our history, our culture, you know, what we've gone through, why we're coming home, so that we can begin to be sensitized to each other, because I think this is very important. We need to learn about them and they need to learn about us. So I was able to get in touch with a sister, and she was so happy to hear from me. And I told her, look, the organization, we running on things. We don't have a lot of money, but she was like, no, what you trying to do? We need it. So I'm going to be meeting with her after the first of the year, and I'll keep everybody posted on that. And what I want to do when we do that, once a month, promote it hard, and then we meet every month, and then I'm going to stream it live because it's going to be important for those of you who are not on the ground to take part in these discussions, take part and participate from wherever you are. That's the benefit of having these platforms like this. Even when we can't be in the same physical location, we still can be with each other. So when I jump that out, when that launches and jump off, rest assured that I'll be streaming those live, and we'll be interacting, because a lot of this misinformation that we have about each other, and these stereotypes, we got to overcome all of that. We got to get, this is about, what do we say? Cooperative where we on Ujama. Yeah, we got to come together, and it's not just about African Americans, or it's not just about Jamaicans, it's not just about Ghanaians. It's about, I don't care what tribe, I don't care where you come from in the world. If you are a Black person, we got to work together. We have to, because I've said it before and I mean it. This is a matter of our survival at this point.
Facts. A matter of our survival. Guys, that's why it is Exodus time. All right. If it ain't clear to you by now, you might be one of the lost ones. So we want to keep on spreading this word, spreading this knowledge, spreading these resources, spreading the love, and we'll be back here next week at the same time. Exodus Radio.
RJ, before you go, can you put Sankofa Repat on the screen? The sister's asking for it.
The website?
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming in and tuning in again this Tuesday. And we look forward to seeing you all. Spread the word, guys. I think that we do really good and informative shows, and we have great dialogue and good interaction with all of you. So make sure you encourage others to come tune in every Tuesday, and let's build this family.
It won't let me comment because we're over time. But Sankofa Repat. Good guys, stay in the chat afterwards. We'll post it in the comments on the videos, in the replay comments. All right.
Yeah. Marcella said none of us are free until all are free. That's absolutely right, Marcella.
Facts. So y'all have a happy Kwanzaa, a happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in 2021. Africa's for Africans. Exodus time.
Black power.